Yeah, guys, I don't know exactly where to start for this video, but oh my goodness, Mexico, what happened? I mean, literally, what happened in this game? This is the complete flip of what they did to the United States in the first friendly that they had. Argentina with Lautaro Martinez absolutely destroying it. Rocking that. Argentina rocked 4 goals past them in the. I mean, this game was over after 39 minutes. After 39 minutes, it was already 4-0 in a game that Mexico. Guys, this is. I'm gonna calm down. These are the statistics that stand out to me the most. That just I feel sick just looking at them. Possession for Argentina was only 37% in the entire game. 37%. They had 17 shots, 7 on target. Mexico with 63% had 1 shot on target out of 4 shots in total. They started literally the best lineup that they could. I feel like there was no one better that could realistically start. I mean, Lozano started, Raul Jimenez started, Edson Alvarez returned as the sort of CDM sitting in the hole, back to his number 4 position. Literally every great play. I mean, the best players for this Mexico team that they have to offer went up against an Argentina squad without Messi, that didn't start Dybala, that doesn't have Aguero. I mean, they started Tagliafico, they started Marcos Rojo in defense, they had Leandro Paredes in midfield as well, and they had Lautaro Martinez up front, and Lautaro Martinez did it all. I mean, he actually just swamped them like it was no big deal. I mean, his goals were so the footwork that he has on some of these goals is beyond dirty. I mean, it's literally amazing. I feel like it's amazing, guys, of how much that I mean, I can't imagine what the U.S. would have done to them if Argentina played them, because the fact that Mexico controlled so much of this game, especially in the second half, still could not produce more than 1 shot on target with their best lineup and what is arguably their toughest lineup to break down. But they somehow, I mean, they just got exposed, and I cannot pronounce his name at all in particular. Is it Araujo? I think is how you say it, but I feel like I'm probably messing that up. But anyway, I mean, him alongside the rest of the defense just took, they had a terrible game. I mean, the Mexico defense in general just had an absolute horrendous time trying to keep up with the front 3 of Argentina. And I feel a little disheartened for Mexico, because I feel like this squad is so much better than what they played against Argentina. I don't know if it's the short turnaround of them from the U.S. game to playing in this game, but I mean, it's gonna feel bad. It's gonna feel bad for the next couple of days. And Tata Martino, I mean, I guess I'm saying that wrong, but I mean, he's gonna feel so sick, because I mean, as the former manager of Argentina himself, that was his job when he had Argentina to have them producing in that way, shape, or form. He was unable to do so. He left for the U.S. And eventually left back for Mexico. I say back for Mexico. Left to Mexico to take over that job. And he essentially, I feel like El Tri and the Mexican Football Federation, I feel like they wanted a result from this game specifically. Of course, a win over the U.S. is big, but Mexico has always been better than the U.S. So the fact that they couldn't, get a result against what is a much more resilient Argentinian squad, which is missing so many key players, it has to feel so bad. And I really do think that it's back to the drawing board for Martino and the rest of the Mexican Football Federation in general, because I feel like Edson Alvarez and Hector Herrera just don't link up very well in midfield. Like, there was never a time that I thought it was worse than the third goal. The third goal, I feel like, was directly linked to them. I mean, the penalty, you could say, which was tucked away by Paredes, it was a good penalty take, but the fact that Argentina even were able to dissect them to the point to get a penalty was a little disappointing, and it makes me think that maybe Edson Alvarez would be best back in the back 4 with the defense, not at the base of midfield, because with Mexico, I understand he's such a good dribbler. He's very tricky to get off the ball. He's for a center back, especially with Ajax, he's a very good defender in the air. He's very good on the ball, which is something you would want in the base of a midfield. But I feel like he's just still too young. When you play teams like Argentina, Brazil, Chile, teams who are super experienced, pretty much every position, no matter if it's the second string, the third string. Edson Alvarez maybe isn't your best choice in CDM, although I did think he played a good game. I just don't think he linked up very well in the midfield. He didn't have an appearance at all in the U.S. game, so maybe it was a little bit of, you know, not nerves necessarily, but maybe a little bit of him, you know, getting bogged down with travel, or maybe not having his legs under him just yet. But I just don't think him and Hector Herrera linked up very well at all. I don't think Raul Jimenez and Chucky Lozano linked up very well at all. And it just, the Mexico team was just so discombobulated. I don't blame Martino. I don't blame the Mexico-U.S. friendly a couple days before. I simply think Argentina were just too goddamn good on the day. And I really do feel bad that Mexico got put to the sword this way. But they weren't the only team to get upset so far throughout this international break. Obviously, Mexico destroyed the U.S. And Brazil losing to Peru. That's another huge one. So we're obviously going to have a couple of those on the channel still. But you guys got to let me know your thoughts on the Argentina-Mexico contest, because Mexico got absolutely dominated, and I feel like it's back to the drawing board once again for this Mexico squad. I mean, you could take a lot of good things away from the second team that played the U.S. that, you know, that they are still leaps and bounds above the U.S. in terms of what they have in potential, what they have in terms of youth talent, what they have in terms of, you know, style of play. But when you look at Mexico compared to the other powerhouses, not in Europe, but here in the Americas itself, there's still a big gap. And I think Mexico have the talent to fill that, you know, to make that closer, but it'll take some time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and peace.